So today we're up here in northwest Montana, up in the Glacier Park area, and we're fishing a small bowl lake. It's Rogers Lake. It's slightly west of Kalispell, and it's a very unique lake in that not only do we have stocked cutthroat trout and cutthroat trout that are reproducing naturally, but we also have a population of Arctic grayling. And there's about 3 or 4 lakes in Montana that have Arctic grayling, and this was a rehabilitation project that one of our previous fisheries manager did with great success. So you come up here, you can expect to catch Arctic grayling in that 10 to 18 inch range, cutthroat trout from 8-9 inch planter size all the way up into the 20 inch range. About 4 pound is a really nice cutthroat out of here. Grayling top out at about 2.5 pounds is a pretty good grayling. Got him. Ooh, nice fish, nice fish. I think this is the one you and I have been sharing, Mitch. You don't want to come.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing, yeah. I have no idea where I'm at with him right now, but...
You don't know if he's close?
He's got to be getting close now. Yeah, he's got to be getting close now.
Oh, he's digging away too.
Yeah, he is. It's good. It's going to be a good fish. All right, there he is. There he is. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is a beautiful northwest Montana cutthroat. You can see the slashes under his cheeks, and you can see that this is a wild trout. There's no damage to any of his fins. His adipose fin is not clipped. Beautiful wild Rogers Lake, northwest Montana cutthroat trout. And this is actually one of the lakes that freezes first around here for us because it's shallow. It's mostly protected by the wind. So typically we're fishing this lake by Christmas, some years even earlier, and then it'll hold ice until around the first part of May. It may not be good accessible ice, but it'll keep ice on, and then within a couple of weeks of ice going off, it's a phenomenal fly fishing lake, light spinning tackle lake for grayling and cutthroat trout. So what I'm using out here today, and this is something that you typically associate with panfish, but this is an inline spooler reel, much like a fly reel, and it's on a Clam Outdoors. It's called an ice spooler system. It's an ultralight rod, and the beauty of an inline reel is you don't get any line twist like you do on a normal spinning reel. And when you're fishing for finicky fish, including these trout in their attitude today, if they take any time to look at a jig and it's spinning around in circles, it's unnatural, they're going to reject it. So I chose this today to use this inline style reel. I've got 3-pound Frost fluorocarbon line on here. Fluorocarbon's a little tougher. It can take the abuse of a trout spinning around the hole, rubbing the line around the sharp ice. So that's why I choose to use a fluorocarbon line even in a lighter pound test, 3-pound test. Cutty Brook Rainbow Brown.
Nice and chunky. A nice Western Montana cutthroat, absolutely hammered, a chartreuse green fireball.
So what we're using is the chartreuse anise flavored fireball, and I've been using 1 or 2 of these, and it's quite simple to use these in that they're slippery, but you just thread them on the hook. They stay on quite well. And I've been putting 2 on, which just leaves the hook slightly exposed when I'm done with it. So they don't have to work past the fireball to get to the hook point. Then I'm giving it a little bit of the Mike's UV, also anise, the super scent. And I just put a little bit on the balls itself, a little bit on top of the lure. And if you get some on your hands, that's okay, because what you can do is take and put it on the line. The more of this that you can put on your setup, the better it's going to be. Nice fish, nice grayling right there. Beautiful. That's what we're here for. Arctic grayling, northwest Montana.
Oh yeah, nice one.
Got it.
Today's episode of Pautzke Outdoors comes to you from deep in the Rocky Mountains. We're out here in western Montana today, ice fishing for the first time in the western part of the state. You know, it's pretty interesting. We're about 4 hours from Spokane right now, 2.5 hours from Missoula, and 25 minutes from Kalispell, in a place that really has become one of our favorite lakes almost overnight. Now, this is Rogers Lake, and it's mostly loaded with grayling and cutthroat. Now, this lake is like a large bowl. You know, at 240 acres, the lake sits at almost 4,000 feet, and it's in Region 1. With those of you from Montana know what that means. If you don't, we're in Flathead County right now, and it's a place that gets an absolute ton of fish stocking. Now, you got to look at that and take that with a grain of salt. They stock 75,000 Arctic grayling in here, but they're only about 1/4 of an inch when they come in here, which tells you one thing: there may not be that many predators in the lake. Now, they also stock 20,000 West Slope cutthroat trout. Now, those fish are a little bit bigger. They're anywhere from 1.8 to 2.16 inches. How do we know that? Well, we got the information right off the state of Montana's website. We know that's what they stock. And what does that do? That translates into beautiful fish that almost look like they're wild. They have amazing fins, beautiful colors on the side of those, and that awesome red stripe right on the bottom of the fish's throat, their gills, however you want to call it. Just an absolute beautiful place to fish, and one of the rare opportunities to catch grayling while you're ice fishing. Now, we came out here today with 2 baits. For the most part, we used chartreuse anise fireballs, and we tipped them with Atlas Mike's UV Anise Super Scent. Now, when the anise wasn't working, we switched over with garlic, and we used that chartreuse garlic fireball with Atlas Mike's garlic oil. Now, I don't know what it is, but we've spent about 2 weeks filming in Montana this year, and chartreuse seems to be the hot color. Bring that chartreuse with you, tip it on your baits, just like we did today, and you can have an exceptional day catching cutthroat and the oddball grayling, just like we did. Pautzke products are available at sporting goods stores near you. If you can't find the specific color, size that you want, make sure to go to Pautzke.com. And as a thank you for watching Pautzke Outdoors, we're going to show you a coupon code to be used for 10% off your next order.